I don't want them shitting on me while I'm out with you guys.
Shitting on you?
I'm sorry?
Shitting on you?
Yeah, well, they sit on my show. They want to be on me all the time. They're crazy.
Bring them
So,
on. Come
no.
on.
No.
I'm
I'm glad I got them in, man. I got them in at nice and early tonight. So, no way. I'm not messing with them till tomorrow when I come home.
Yeah, let me do the intro and then we'll be right back.
It's time for Red Salad Review with your hosts, Wayne Moon, Greg Narlo, and Lou Maddox.
You know, I'm the only one that intro that's on this show tonight. Isn't that fucked up?
You need to have dynamic intros, man.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, where the fuck am I in that intro?
You're not in there.
Bobby's endorsed then.
Definitely not in
You
there. Maybe I should.
you need
I
to
should have you
throw
like.
an animated Bobby Lucas up in there, bro.
I might do that. I want to do a new one at some point, and I might throw you in there and just come like on the side and just like wave or something. And
Throw me in, man. I'll come on Wednesday. I'll be your comic relief. Remember that one
I'll just
time
put a
with the
picture of your face
merciful,
up there.
remember the merciful fate girl was on?
Yes,
And I came on
yes,
all
I
late,
do. Yes.
all like fucking gangbusters, New Jersey style. She's like, what the fuck is up with this guy?
Yeah.
She was supposed to call in my show. Guess who never called in?
I wonder why.
She said, I'm not going on this fucking asshole's fucking show. Forget that. She was hot though.
Yeah, she wasn't bad. Troy's back. Holy shit.
Oh
my God. What are you doing here?
You invited me.
I did invite you. All right, you can leave now.
The last time I saw you.
I know, right? It's been a while. I was hoping to see you last week, but you didn't have your little yard sale. So.
You were driving by my house randomly, and you didn't know it was my house, and you came to my garage sale.
I had no idea. I'm looking through all this stuff.
2 years ago?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, I'm looking through all this stuff. I'm like, man, this guy's got some cool stuff, and I look up and it's him. I'm like, oh God.
That was about I think that was 2 summers ago.
Yeah, it was.
Something like that, right? Yeah.
But it was cool. That was now I know where you live, and every once in a while when I'm in the area, I stop by, try to break in the house because I know you're not going to be home.
You do,
and try to steal some stuff. But especially some of the video.
Wayne looks like a fucking bank robber, ain't it?
He does.
Yeah.
Throw a winter hat on him.
I'm like a ninja too. You wouldn't even know I'm there. But how you doing, Troy? It's been quite a long time since you've been on the show.
Yeah, a few years, right?
Yeah, about that. Yeah, actually, 2 albums ago, I think.
2 albums ago?
Yeah, because you didn't come up for the last one.
Yeah. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm alive and breathing.
You're looking good.
6 feet above ground.
That's the best place to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Naya's still hanging in there.
Naya's still hanging in there. I don't know if you could see her over my shoulder. She's laying down. You see her?
I see.
Yeah. It's a massive dog, man. How can you miss it?
Yeah. She's 180-pound Great Dane. That's a little over 8 years. And she's not doing very well right now. Let's just put it that way. She's having a tough time.
That sucks.
But I still love her till the end.
Yeah, of course.
Till the end.
Yeah, I remember all the times. Every time we did a show with you, she was always coming into the room. Always heard her coming with the chain or whatever. And then you put her on the album cover of the third album too.
So. Oh no, I didn't just put her on the album cover on the third album.
But you put her in the album.
I put her. I actually took. I made samples of her. It took me about a week, and I made all different types of samples, and we actually used them on one of the songs on that album.
Yeah.
So I tend to do crazy things like that.
Yeah, it's cool. That makes the albums. Fun. Yeah. Kalus, I can't pronounce that name, but they say hey all. Is that Kim? Maybe.
Nah.
No. All right.
Kim,
I don't know who
Kim
you are,
be
but
like Kimmy with all the E's and shit.
All right. Well, whoever you are, hello.
Hello.
Now I had Bobby come on the show because Troy, I was talking to you for the last few weeks about the album stuff like that. But then you were telling me about. I said something. Oh no, I should sent you our cover of Killers that we did with Bobby, and then you said, "Oh, I've known
Right.
Bobby for years," and then I did not know this, but Bobby helped you out in the beginning of them and created your face mask or whatever. So how did that? How did you two get to know each other?
So
I
that
just sketched
you
it.
could
That's
you could
all I
start
did.
you could start it, Bobby. You tell him.
I just sketched it, man. That's all I did, bro. He liked it. Luckily, he liked it. Um, I know him from when I was in an Iron Maiden tribute for. Well, I was in Sanctuary for like 4.5 years.
Yep.
And we were playing with them with Troy's
The King
King
Diamond tribute.
Diamond
Yeah.
tribute. It was
Oh.
Iron Maiden and King Diamond, and we loved each other's shows and started bullshit and became friends.
Yeah.
And that the rest is history. I haven't seen him in like 8 fucking years,
I know.
10 years or some shit,
I
something
know.
like that. I've been a DJ at MMR for fucking 8 years, and I think I
Oh,
had
wow.
you on in the beginning, Troy. Remember,
You
you
did.
came
Yes.
on the show. We
Yep.
interviewed you and all.
Yep. Hmm.
But then what wound up happening was I wound up getting heart surgery
Oh,
3 years
wow.
in, and I had open heart, and then I came back, and then Roach had a stroke, and Roach had to have surgery. They had to take a piece of his fucking skull out so his brain could fucking,
Oh.
expand and breathe again because he had all
Mm.
blood on his brain. So he left the show, and then it was just me. So I haven't seen you, God, Troy, in at least it's got to be like 6 years, man, something like that. Maybe
It's.
7. I don't know.
I think it's more like 7.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
You too, bro. I'm glad
Yeah,
to be
brother.
here. I'm glad to be on the right side of the dirt now. So
So I'm gonna tell you that since we shared the stage, Bobby and I became friends, and you know, he actually came up and did a King Diamond song. I did an Iron Maiden song at one time when we played together. Remember that, Bobby?
yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool. Yeah, he did a Merciful
Only I
Fate song.
suck.
Oh, you didn't suck. Stop. But
Oh God.
anyway, we had a great time, and then we've always been in touch, and then I told him I was doing the original offshoot, and I was trying to actually think about what I could do where it wouldn't be like black and white makeup, you know.
Mhm.
So I spoke to Bobby and I said, look, I want to create some kind of like facial prosthetic. And at the time, he was also, heavily into like monster models, and he was getting into like latex, working with latex and all this stuff. And I said, let's start with and Bobby offered. He said, look, I'll sketch something out for you. And I said, okay, let's check it out. And shit, first run, I was like, that's it. I gave him an idea of like what I was looking for, and Bobby's a great artist.
You
Um,
explained it all, man. You were great at describing it, bro. So
yeah, I gave him my ideas, and I did have some like black and white face paint, versions that I had made up from someone else, but that I didn't want to do that. And then Bobby came up with this prosthetic. And originally, I think if I'm not mistaken, Bob, you can correct me. He wanted to actually make it, but I think there was a time constraint, if I'm not mistaken. I needed
it,
to get it done,
that
like,
yeah, it was
right?
that plus it was a really expensive fucking of
It was.
materials, the latex that I would have needed. Plus, I would have had to make a plaster mold of it first. So that would have entailed Troy coming down to New Jersey and me putting the plaster on his face. The blue alginate. It's called
Oh, yeah,
alginate,
yeah. Mhm.
and then that hardens, and you pull that off, and then that's what you use to sculpt. I would actually have made a reverse, pull it off, then fill it with plaster, and then I would have had a positive of Troy's face. So it would have been exactly Troy's face, and then I would sculpt, the clay onto that so it would form fit him perfectly. And then you would have to cast that. It was, it's a process. And then
Listen, the bottom line is Bobby's
Yeah.
version would have ultimately been better, but I remember if I vaguely remember a time constraint, and I had to have a company do it. So they
yeah,
sent
he
me
had to
they
go
sent
with
me like
that.
some kind of like kit where I put it on my face or whatever, and I gave them the sketch, and then they
Yeah.
created a facial prosthetic. But I got to tell you, Bobby, it never fitted correctly. It was always a pain in the ass. I had to modify it. So I had molds made. They hold the molds, and it's a company called CFX Composites, and they were involved with making I think if not all, majority of the masks that were used in Game of Thrones, for example. And
Nice.
and it wasn't very expensive. I mean, it was expensive to initially make the molds, but then after that, I had a choice to either have it um, make the prosthetic unpainted and painted. And again, I had time constraints, so I think I paid like 30 extra dollars per prosthetic to have them painted the way I envisioned it. And then I would just use makeup. I mean, I would glue it, use latex, I feather around the prosthetic and then use makeup to blend it all in. And just one particular part of the prosthetic that would always be a problem because when you're trying to perform with half your face covered,
Yeah.
my eye was covered, I couldn't see out of it,
Uh-huh.
and the funny thing is the prosthetic covered my right eye, which is my good eye. My left eye, I have it's not as good, so I can't see very well. I wear glasses, right? I'm nearsighted, so I don't need to wear glasses when I'm performing. But there's also what is it called? Astigmatism in my left
Yeah.
eye, so I
I
Mhm.
can't
have
wear a
them in both.
contact. You do? Oh boy, you can't wear
Both.
contacts. So I couldn't wear a contact in the left eye. So when I
Mhm.
performed number of many years with that prosthetic on, I couldn't see. So I'm
Right.
walking
Yeah.
around like an old man. I wasn't acting. I'm walking around very lethargically because I couldn't see,
Right.
and it just meshed with the whole act. So
Yeah, write it into the character. That's all, bro. Yeah.
I actually had a question about the mask. When you have when you have characters like horror characters like Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, they have these really simplistic designs, but they've become so instantly recognizable and iconic. And
Iconic.
yeah, like what do you think like this is a question for both of you guys. Like what do you think makes a mask truly iconic and what kind of traits, qualities or ideas did you want yours to capture?
you want me to go first, Bobby?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So I would think, first of all, it has to be unique, easily recognizable, and detailed. Detailed in the sense where, like for example, like the Michael Myers mask. It's not. There's not. There is an intricate detail, but it's like a weathered look, right,
Hmm.
to the mask, and that once the history behind the mask is understood, where it originated from, or where the mold is from, it brings a sense of intrigue. People are intrigued, and it becomes recognizable in that regard. I think with the case of this particular character that I had created, um, the prosthetic, it's you know I, I as I would dress up as the character, I would wear a wig, okay, because that's how the character was in my mind, and part of the wig would cover that prosthetic to a degree where you can't see it. I have ideas which we could talk about later that if I evolved upon the character, it would be fully like you could see it fully visible without a wig, but I'm working on that look now. If there would be a continuous, releases in the future, because I think a character has to evolve, especially in like a horror sense, because
Hmm.
this character is something that when I created this, he looks like you go by the adage, don't judge a book by its cover. So you see the character, he's pretty messed up looking. It's just weird, like a weird, I don't know, some people have said it's kind of like a caretaker-ish type of look,
Mhm.
but you can't judge a book by its cover because you don't know that guy is actually he wasn't a bad man. He was branded by townspeople that didn't understand or refused to accept that he was trying to save his baby in the first record. Because
Hmm.
Stan, I don't know if you're aware, but all the records that we created is one continuous story. It's one continuous story that spans across 5 albums, and it starts off as linear, does a time jump, and then it jumps into a different dimension. So it's like you look at the character, and I'll give you an example. When we were taking pictures for our second album, I was in Germany, and the photographer, his name was Alex, and he didn't speak great English, and he would just call me Monster. Monster, move to the left. Monster, move to the right. Monster, back up. He didn't call me by the name. He didn't call me by the character's name. He called me Monster. So that's was his, interpretation of what I had. Or when we signed the record deal with Steamhammer, I'll never forget. We were actually in between traveling because their offices were a little bit off the beaten path of our tour. Um, and what we did was we stopped. Their offices are in Peppermint Park, in what's that? I forget the town that they're in. But anyway, we were there, and we were standing there. We were penning the agreement, and the one of the guys said, "Well, where's the singer?" I was standing right in front of him. I'm like, "I'm here." I had sweatpants, I had a t-shirt, I had a hat on. I'm like, I'm right here. Oh no, no, you can't dress like this. You can't be like this. Go put the outfit on. So I put the outfit on, and then I transformed, and we took this like iconic photo of when we actually signed with them. So it just takes the character, like the character, once I embody the character, it actually, like, it just brings me into a different realm, and people don't know me. My girlfriend doesn't recognize me. My kids look at me like you're crazy, like you have a problem. You have a problem. But you know what? I have fun because it's almost like an alter ego. And I'm
Hmm.
sure Bobby can attest to that. It's like, like when he goes on stage and we both go on stage, we perform, and it's like this is not, like we love the music, we enjoy horror, we both enjoy horror, we both enjoy these things as like pastimes and hobbies, but it's engraved in us. But when you go on stage, it's different. I've been on stage like Bobby, where we perform, you singing, rock and roll, metal, whatever the case may be, jeans, t-shirt, vest, whatever the case may be,
Yeah.
long hair, short hair, I've done it all. But I'll tell you, dressing up as this character, as KK Foster, and going on stage and looking out into the audience, and people they're like deer in headlights. Mainly the people that don't know who we are.
Right.
And it's surreal because now they don't know me. They don't know Troy. They know KK Foster. And what's amazing, it's amazing. I get to perform a show, get off stage, take everything off, put on my sweatpants, my t-shirt, and my baseball cap, and I go out into the audience, and I'll go to people that were looking and participating in the show. I'll go up to them and I'll say, "So wait, who was playing before?" "Oh, this just banned them. They were really good. We really had a good time." "Oh, really? Tell me about that." They had no idea that I was in the group singing, and it's cool. I don't need to have validation. I enjoy what I really enjoy most is when I go and I go into the audience, and I've done that a lot, where they don't know who I am, and I just try to find out like what do they think about it, and I like to get like feedback, and
Mm.
sometimes once in a while someone said I didn't like it. Why didn't you like it? And I don't get offended. I mean, I've had people. One time we performed in L.A. and some guy was heckling me.
Mm.
He was like King Diamond, and I made some kind of comment. I don't remember what the comment was, but I made some kind of comment and I embarrassed him, and everybody in the venue was starting to laugh. He wanted to jack me up after the show. He came up to me and he's like, I'm gonna screw you up, I'm gonna mess you up, mother effer, I'm gonna mess you up. And, like, the people that I'm with, they're like, that's just not gonna happen. And plus I said, don't worry about it. I have a cane. I'll crack him over the freaking head, like, so I have to tell you, I have enjoyed every moment of this journey. I've enjoyed performing in the King Diamond tribute with the group and the musicians I performed with other bands like, Bobby Sanctuary at the time. I never thought it would come to this point. I would think that, all right, you know what? I want to do original record. And the people that were in the King Diamond tribute, most of them performed with me in my childhood thrash band called Cold Steel. And guys, we wrote some albums. We wrote one album. We wrote some demos. We could write music, but heavier, a little heavier, more thrash like, right, than King Diamond. And I could, inject some of this elements. It would be cool. I think it would
Yeah.
be cool. People dig it. But at the time, some people, everybody's in different places in life, and I mean, I'm still friends with those guys. I love them. And, for whatever reason, it just didn't pan out, you know.
Gotcha.
And then I have this chance dinner meeting with a guy from this band called Landfear. He just happened to play the Prog Metal Fest that year with Landfear, and he was with other people. One of the guys that was in that group, he calls me up. He was re-releasing Cold Steel record that we did. And so I was in contact with him over that, but he was in the States. He says, look, we're coming up to Long Island. Do you want to meet for a steak dinner? So I said, sure. We met for a steak dinner at an Outback Steakhouse on Long Island. And he goes, he's sitting there and there's everybody on the table is German, right? And I didn't know, but the guy across from me would be the future guitarist of them. And I'm telling them, these guys, I'm telling the guy who I know, I said, look, here's an iPad. I'm showing you pictures of, I'm resurrecting Cold Steel and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then I'm showing him on an iPad artwork and pictures. And he says, whoa, 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 what's that over there? Go back to that. I was actually showing him the the designs for the face makeup. I showed, and that was one of the pictures was what Bobby did. Nothing was actually created yet, So he goes, let me see that. Let me see that. And he's looking at these pictures. He's looking at a mock-up of our first album cover. There was no album. There was no band. There was no nothing. There was just the them logo, and there was nothing else. And this guy, his name is Andy Prissig, from a small record label called Battle Cry Records, and he says, listen, you have to do this. King isn't releasing anything. You guys, you're telling me you're going to be heavier, a little
Still
different.
hasn't.
Do it. Just do it. Okay. So the guy across from me, Marcus Ulrich from Landfear, we get into a conversation. Hey, look, you want to do a record? I'll do it with you. Because the guys that were in the King Diamond tribute, it just wasn't going where it should have gone. So I
Right.
said, okay, let's do it. And we did it. And then we grabbed a few other guys. The other guy was the Chicago guitarist, Marcus Johansson. And then, we're the core writing team for the albums, and we really thought it was just going to be a one-off, one record. We'd have been cool with it. One record, horror themed, had a story to it, and then Steamhammer came in, and that's when we went to Peppermint Park, and they wanted two records. We did two records in 2 years, like 3 years, and okay, and it kept going. So as it kept going, I wanted it to do something different, but there has been with the concept. Okay, so there are concept albums, right? Some bands have like one or two albums, maybe three albums, four albums, something like that. I wanted to do something different, and what I wanted to do was one concept. Okay, every album, it's the concept, right? So it's not like playing in a thrash band where each song is a independent story. You might have a theme of the record, but each song could be different. This case, each song is a chapter of the story. And to me, I've never done that, but I thought this was just something awesome. So we go through one album, two albums, three albums, linear in the 1800s, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like, this is this is wild. I get to our fourth album, and when we got to the fourth album, we came to crossroads. The guitar players didn't want to really continue if it was going to be linear. What could we do? What could we do? Let's go from the 1800s to the 80s thematically, and we could do all sorts of cool stuff, very, cinematic, some cinematic interludes and stuff like that. Sure.
Mhm.
And our Chicago guitar player, Marcus Johansson, he came up with some pretty awesome John Carpenter-like interludes. And, you know, it was just mind-boggling. While I was recording that fourth album for them called Fear City, right? I was recording one of there was supposed to be two bonus tracks, which never became bonus tracks. They wound up becoming part of an EP release, a digital release called Goblin Sessions, which was released last year. But at the time, we always recorded extra songs, and somehow, some way, keep it within the story arc. And I recorded this song I'll never forget, and this was a surreal moment for me. It was like life defining. Like, holy cow, I'm recording the song. Everything that I've recorded, everything that I've written about is a parallel to my life. Literally, it was a parallel to my life, and blew me away. It just blew me away. I had to stop. The engineer I work with, at that time, his name was Joe Sancada. Um, and he was like, That's crazy. Like, we just stopped and thought about it. Like, this is wild. How do you wrote this stuff not realizing this is like paralleling what your life was. I didn't realize it until then. So, okay, didn't say anything, kept it under wraps. We move on. Our label, Steamhammer, asked for another record. We want another one. Okay, which is the current one, Psychedelic Enigma. And our guitar player from Germany, Marcus Ulrich, who on that one fateful night I met for that steak dinner, that decided he wanted to do this with me and us. He said to me, "Look, I don't want to do anything like we're doing. I don't want to do anything that's expected. I want to do something that's unexpected. That is like it's just gonna people are gonna be like, where did this come from? Type of thing."
Yeah,
So
I was gonna ask you about that, like, because I've never heard of them beforehand. Like, I just, Wayne introduced me to you guys, and I kind of took a little crash course, recently, and I've listened to all the albums, in the last few days, and this album is like your most heaviest, fastest, and also most technical. And so I was gonna ask, like,
yeah.
is this like this was this like a deliberate challenge to yourselves, or did it happen just organically?
So that's a great question. The answer is it is deliberate. Deliberate. Um, three of us, the three core songwriters. The other guys contribute. We all write songs together. We all, we all add depth to the music. But the majority of the music, from a core perspective, is the two guitarists and myself, right? So the three of us just so happen to be thrash heads,
Hmm.
from the 80s. We were all fans of, Bay Area thrash, um, and here we have keyboards, and all the drumming really lends itself to more like death metal drumming. So we're not death metal fans, but all the drummers that we work with play death metal.
Yeah, this guy
No,
on this album, what was his name? David.
David, yeah,
Yeah,
David,
dude. He's out of this fucking world.
he's
And
pretty
this is
good.
like he's like your fourth drummer. Like,
Yes.
you guys, have you had like some kind of like a Spinal Tap moment where like your drummer just mysteriously dies, and you get a new one or something? Like
No, no, no,
four
nothing like
drummers,
that.
five albums.
No,
Yeah,
yeah, I know.
what's the story
So
behind that? Like,
the drummers, okay, so the first album was more like it was supposed to be, it was designed as a one-off, right?
mm,
And um it's very, very funny because here we had Kevin Talley, not Kevin Talley, Marcus Ulrich, who played in Landfear. I'll do the record with you. Sure. So we need other people. So through certain connections, we got the guy who's been our guitar player, our other guitar player, Marcus Johansson. And Marcus Johansson said, I we should get Kevin Talley. And I'm like, wait, is that the guy that played in Devil Driver and and I think he's in Suffocation now? Yeah, that's the guy. Okay, sure. So Kevin, he needed a place to crash. He needed a place to crash. So I said, you could listen. You know what? I was divorced at the time, and you could come stay crash at my place. So he would come. Literally, I had Suffocation, right? Practicing in my basement for like months, like 8 months. Suffocation would prepare for their tours, Pinnacle of Bedlam tour. And, the tour bus came to my house. It was just funny. It was surreal. So Kevin, when he would come to practice on these mini tours that they would do, Kevin would, sit down. He's like, "What are you working on?" And I would show him them Sweet Hollow. This is what it will be. And he goes, these guys are pretty damn good. I, if you need a drummer, I'll do it with you. And okay, so he was the drummer for that segment. But then as it became a thing where now we wound up going on tour back then with Halloween, USA and Canada tour. We needed someone who was going to be drummer. He was touring with Suffocation at that time. We also had Mike Lapon that played bass on that, and he too was playing with Symphony X on a tour. So we
Hey,
have to
Troy,
tour.
Troy, who
Yes, sir.
doesn't have Mike LaPon in the band?
I know Mike Lapon's awesome though.
I know he is, but I'm just
I
saying.
know.
I'm goofing, that's all.
I know. Everybody, yeah, he plays with
We
a lot
love
of
Mike.
people. Yeah, we do. But Mike used to come see us play when you and I played our shows together at what was that place? Where did we play? You remember where we played?
Dingbass?
Dingbats. That's right. Thank you. On the tip of my head, tip of my tongue. Dingbats. And Mike Lapon saw us, and I reached out to him. Hey, you want to play? Yeah, sure. And he recorded. So if he would have went on tour with us too, if he wasn't playing with Symphony X. So we needed to have roadworthy musicians to play when we had it to play. So we got Angel Cote, or Angel Cote, as I like to call him correctly. He's the drummer for Demolition Hammer. And he told me at the time, he says, listen, I'm going to join you guys. We're going to play. We're going to kick ass and have fun. But I'm just letting you know, I got the Demolition Hammer gig. And it was like hush hush for a while. So I said, okay, that's cool. Whatever, man. Everybody's like in different bands and multiple bands. So he was the drummer for two albums. Two albums? Two albums. And it just it's tough. I don't know why, but it's just tough to keep a drummer with us. I don't know why, but
Take mine, please. Just take him.
there he is. What's up, Lou?
Hey,
How you doing?
good man.
So you know, it's I just had a great time. We got to this record, Psychedelic Enigma. It came out in Europe last 2 weeks ago. It's dropping this Friday here in the States, and that was because there was a problem with customs, from what I understand. So
The physical
all
copy, the
the
digital copy is
physical
already
copy,
out.
yeah, no, the digital copy's already out, but the physical copy, I don't even have a copy of the album. I always have like this tradition. I'll go to the record store. In fact, Wayne, I remember you and I were going to go on the
Yeah,
24th, and I found out that it wasn't shipped. The distribution channel didn't have it here. So, and it's the case across the board. Record stores, whether it's Best Buy, Target, Walmart, whatever, Amazon, you couldn't get it until it came through customs. So the 7th, I'll actually have my copy tomorrow. Copy. So I'll buy my own copy. And what I like to do, and Wayne would have seen it if he came with me, I like to go to the record store and I'll be like, "Do you have that band? Do you have that, that new album from them?" They'll be like, "Yeah, it's right over here. Cool." And I'll buy my own record. And I don't care. Like, I'm not looking for validation, but I'm curious to hear, I think it was the third album. The guy at the record store said, "Oh yeah, there's like we only have like one copy of the vinyl left," and I'm like, "Cool, like I'll get it." So I would always buy like the vinyl. I won't buy the CD, but I'll buy the vinyl of my own record, and it's cool. It's fun, and I just do it, you know, nonchalant, quiet, and I've really enjoyed what I've done up to this point with these guys. To me, it's very special because, everybody's in different bands, and the different bands, they sound different, right? They sound different than how we sound. So it's like you have like different people that mesh. It's almost like a relationship where, you're with someone and you just click. We click musically, and it's just, you know what, I wanted to go even more, so like more theatrics, more involved with that, because I love horror. Bobby can attest to that. I love horror. So they want more music, and that's cool, right? We've always lived by music number one, right? Because we're a band first and foremost. And so they created heavier stuff, and I'm cool with that because I've played heavier stuff before. It makes no difference to me. I'll sing whatever, um, to whatever music I'm being given. And I hope there'll be more. If there is more, thematically, the character is going to have remnants. It's KK, because people know KK now, KK Foster, but it's KK is going to evolve because it's a different segment of the story, and I'm very excited about that. Again, the label needs, the label would need to want another record and wants to keep it going. And so far, got some great reviews, fantastic, like probably the best reviews we've had to date for any of the records. People notice it sounds nothing like, or very, very little like, from day one.
Yeah.
They understand the transition, they understand the evolution, they dig it, they appreciate the previous stuff more now, and they look forward to see where it goes. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shut up now.
We asked you, or Stan asked you about like your favorite horror mask, and I don't know how the hell we got here.
Well,
because according to my girlfriend, I have ADHD.
Apparently.
well, Bobby, we're gonna go back to you, Bobby, because
yeah, we're done with you, Troy. I'll see you later. No,
we're done. We're done with Troy.
Although you
I
mentioned,
just got here.
one thing you mentioned though, you're gonna have your face show a little bit more, and I'm thinking, are you gonna put on a mullet maybe?
No.
Just where the
Who
hair
said
is
I-
not. I don't know.
Who said? You don't know what I'm gonna do.
I don't know. Maybe
But
a
whatever
mullet
I'm
might
gonna
look
do,
cool. I don't know.
whatever I'm gonna do is gonna be pretty cool. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna strive to have it make it cool. And if not, then not. Well, what am I gonna do?
Mullet, what's the matter with you? The guy's not singing "Ain't Nothing But a Good Time." What the hell?
You don't know where they're gonna go next. Who knows? They're traveling
You don't know.
dimensions and they're going to different
Yes.
times. They're going all over the place. They end up in a hair metal video. Who knows?
Hair metal video. Yeah. Okay.
Well, Trick or Treat would be effective.
So, Bobby, so getting back to that first question, like,
That
since
we
you
did like an
designed,
hour ago.
since you
Sorry.
designed the mask,
My bad.
what are the
What
are the
time is it?
It's
Oh
10
shit!
10:30.
Oh shit!
My
20
bad.
minutes left.
You'll never be bored with
Oh
me.
shit!
so what are like the qualities that you were looking to capture when you were designing the mask for Troy?
Oh, first of all, I wanted to do something different because he was trying to get away from the black and white corpse paint, face paint, whatever you want to call it. When I wore it back in the Morbid Sin days, they weren't even calling it corpse paint yet. That's how old I am. But but seriously, he explained his idea and I tried to realize it. And what I did was I looked at actual burn victims, like
Oh,
not
wow.
just on the face, but you can look them up. I mean, it's not for squeamish people, but what I want to do is I wanted to capture that actual burn look. Because I mean, something like Freddy Krueger. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess there's some burn people like that, but he looks more like a pizza pie, face. When people get burned, um, it depends on the degree of the burn, but he explained it as a branding. So, yeah, it'll fuck you up. But this is like not a fresh. I designed it as so it's not a fresh burn, but you could tell it's been scarring up. Um, and I guess I just got lucky and I hit it because he liked it. But I wanted the shape of the cross to be a certain shape because I felt like it would give it a little more edge. Troy. I mean, Troy. Yeah. Troy will tell you they're like triangles on each of the four ends of the cross. You know what I'm trying to say.
Bobby, I
But
think it's more like a Celtic cross, like a Celtic inverted cross. It's similar.
is it? I mean, because
Yeah.
I remember
Little different, but
drawing
it's
it
similar.
like that with a triangular at the edge of each. Maybe you
Yep.
changed it when you had it done. I don't know, but
No, it was spec to what you drew. I'm trying to find it while we're talking. So maybe
You sent
yeah,
me
you'll
you sent me
see.
a bunch of stuff, and I do have that somewhere, like a drawing that you
I
sent
know,
me.
I'm
a
trying
bunch
to
of stuff,
find it
and I
right
don't know
now.
where the hell I put it. I find everything else but that.
Yeah, I mean, I just tried to bring a little realism into it.
Yeah.
You know, I think what we did, Troy, was we flipped it. I think I might have drawn it right ways up, and then you had it turned upside down,
You did some unique things though. I'll tell you that
or
much.
or vice versa. I don't know how it ended up. I remember drawing it the right side up, and then I think you told me, no, it's gonna be upside down. It's gonna be inverted. And then I might have went back to the drawing board and sketched it that way. But yeah, man, I mean, I enjoyed doing it. It was a great opportunity for me because I've been into horror movies since I'm like 4. And I grew up with a professional makeup artist in my neighborhood, Joe Dolinich, who actually offered me to go out to Arizona and he would mentor me and teach me a lot of other stuff that I don't know, but it would entail me leaving the music behind. He even reiterated with me that offer still stands. you know, but let me tell you, man, I can't take the heat, bro. Hot weather. That's why I've had so many people say, move down to Florida, move down to Florida. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'll fucking die in Florida. No fucking way. I'm going up somewhere like fucking Massachusetts, man. You know, somewhere where it's like,
Go New Hampshire. You live up in those mountains.
Yeah,
yeah,
south from
or New Hampshire. Yeah, exactly. And I'll go look for Bigfoot, you know, out in there
yeah,
or
south from
something.
Typo moved his entire family down to Florida, and then they came back up to New York. What, Wayne? What was it like within 6 months?
Oh yeah, it was a
Yeah,
long haul.
Something like
I,
that.
I know people who've done the same. People from Jersey. My mother's friends went out there and they were like, oh, Florida, 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 Florida. And then guess what? Guess who came back after a year only in Florida? And they were like, fuck that. We can't take it. And, you know, I was in Florida one time. And I was like, whoa, man, the humidity is what gets you, bro. When I went to Arizona, this dry heat, it was totally different. It was like 105 degrees one day, and I'm like, I don't understand why I'm not dying in this. You know, 92 degrees in Florida plus the humidity, I'm fucking dying, man. It's like trying to breathe underwater. You know, it's terrible. But I don't know how you guys do. I think that's why there's so many death metal bands in Florida. You guys are crazy from the fucking humidity out there.
Who here's from Florida?
That's why. Hey,
He's just talking in general.
that's
Okay.
why. That's why they all sing like Cookie Monster. Is the fucking heat and the humidity out there?
Hey! Don't knock the Cookie Monster vocals. Some of us can't reach those beautiful.
I'm only kidding.
Some of
Take
us can't
it
reach those
easy.
beautiful highs that you and Troy reach.
Listen, I like a lot of death metal now. Back in the day, I was like lumping it in with some other shit, and now, you know, we have a DJ at the station, Death Metal Dave from Florida, and you know, I listen to his show to support his show, and I would hear a lot of stuff that I missed out on. I'm like, fuck, man, because all we cared about on the East Coast was what they were doing in fucking San Francisco, you know, in the Bay Area, because that's what we got hooked on was fucking thrash and bands from fucking Germany, and you know, yeah, King Diamond came out. You know, we were all like, I missed out on the fucking death metal. I really did. I mean, bands like Death, Possessed, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, I heard and I got into. I liked, but now I'm much more open minded to it. You know, I say Cookie Monster. Guess what? There's worse fucking singers now. Go listen to that band Gudalax. They do piggy fucking squeals and oink.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the breeze.
It's,
Yes, I know.
I
They
call it piggy metal, man. I did that pretty good. I should join a piggy metal band.
yeah, it sounds like breathe,
Yo,
like that.
yeah, I could do that too, man. Don't get me started, dude.
By the way, I played Sanguisugabog in the car one day. My daughter is asking me, Daddy, why is he throwing up in the microphone? I go,
What
that's
did you
just
play?
stuff.
What did you play?
I was listening to Sanguisugabog.
Meshuggah?
No, not Meshuggah, Sanguisugabog.
You see how bad my fucking ears are? My girlfriend yells at me all the time. You know, I'm like the bad fucking humor. You know when they do where they say something, but the old man says something that sounds just like it, but has nothing to do with what the person actually said. That's me.
Are you sure we're not related? I have plenty
That's
of family
me.
members like that.
Yeah, yeah, bro. But anyway, I don't even remember what I was talking about. But death metal, yeah, no, I get into it a lot more now. But the drummers are phenomenal. The drummers are, to me, the best thing about fucking death metal. When I hear the fucking drummers, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
You know, I mean, what we played with Attacker, the last festival we played in Germany, I Am Morbid, were headlining, okay? And we were in a huge fucking hall. It was like an airplane hangar. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait to fucking hear this because David Vincent's saying he's fucking Morbid Angel. I gotta hear this. There's no way he's gonna have a guitar player that plays the shit Trey plays, right? So they play and I'm fucking blown away. I'm devastated. I'm like, holy shit. He has two guitar players that could play the shit Trey played. I was blown away. And then I got to see them over here in fucking Pennsylvania, right? With my girl,
It's
with Ken.
Philadelphia.
And it was a smaller place. It was at Love Drafts, right? Holy shit, bro. When I met Pete Sandoval, Pete Defeat back in Germany, and that's what I was getting at. We took a van ride back because we were on the same flight home. He was going to Newark Airport too. So he sat in the van with us. Dude was fucking cool as hell, right? So anyway, I got to meet him, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that night, when we went to go see him up in Pennsylvania, fucking he was walking off stage. I'm like, Pete Defeat! And he saw me and he came over the stage and fucking slapped my hand and shit. I was like, damn man, I wanna go meet David Vincent. David Vincent frunked it on me. You frunked it on me, David Vincent. He would you guys play what the fuck's frunked it mean? It means he remember back in the day in the rap days they said fronted, he would front. Well,
Oh, he
people,
dissed you and dismissed you.
you fronted on me. You fronted. Well, in my town, they're so ignorant. They used to say fronked. So me and we used to laugh at him. And me and the guys from Morbid Sin, who are all deceased now, rest in peace. We used to laugh at him. Anyway, that's where that is. So if you guys ever hear that or see that on my page, you know why I'm saying fronked. It means fronted, but.
Got it.
Anyhow, that's like you bullshitted, man. You bullshitted on me. But he was standing in the fucking bus, and we're like, oh, come on, let us in, let us in. And he's just like totally egging us, man. Like on his phone, I was like, fuck it, let's go. I want to go home anyway.
I actually have a question for Troy.
Yeah.
So,
No, don't, Troy. Only got
No,
5 minutes left.
I know.
No, this show
I'll
goes
keep
forever.
this short.
This show goes.
I'll keep this short. Go ahead.
I mean, Troy, you and I and Wayne, we're all part of this crazy Long Island music scene, and we all know that the amount of venues that stage original acts is pretty much nullified at this point, unless you go to like Lucky 13 Saloon in Brooklyn or possibly Amityville Music Hall. I know Jersey's got Dingbats in Clifton.
Yes.
But being that, you're based where we are, it's like, how would you ever navigate possibly bringing them to the stage in the States?
Well, the only time we performed in the States was 2016 with Halloween. We performed US and Canada. We haven't any other time we performed was overseas. To come over here right now, each one of the guys in Germany has to pay $3,500 for a visa.
There you go,
and yeah, each one. We don't have to pay for a visa to go there. They have to pay for a visa to come here. So it's not feasible financially unless we had a decent backing. So that's why, and that's probably after COVID. I think that kicked in. So, I don't know. It's I'm not gonna say it'll never happen, but right now it's not feasible.
Understood.
So right now we're just recording albums. We were playing up until COVID hit. When COVID hit, we were actually just started to record our third album. And we were hoping, we could tour for it, but we couldn't. We toured the first two, but we couldn't tour. And then the fourth album came out, and it was at the tail end. Bands were canceling tours left and right, so it was like we can't tour. And then this album, it was like, well, no, it's $3,500 to go there, to come here per musician. So what is there? Three of them? There's three of them. Wait, no, yeah, three of them.
That's $17,500 total for all 5 band members.
Well, the visa, they have to pay the visa to come here. We don't have to pay the visa to go there.
Right.
So if they came here, it's three of them. So
it's three of them.
a little over 10 grand, right? But to go there, that would be more feasible. But we've played all types of shows, right? We've performed, bars. We've performed very large venues. We've we've performed medium-sized festivals. Um, we've done a lot. We've slept in the weirdest places, hostels, people's houses. Um, you know, we've done a lot. I think pretty awesome run with what we've done. I personally would love to play, one or two larger festivals, and then we can build up a show around it. Like meaning we could perform some warm-up shows. I don't think any of us wanted to just go out and tour, like just tour. It's hard, it's rough, and we're old men.
So, Troy, since like since most of the band is like based in Germany, like how does having people from a different part of the world it like shape the band's sound and chemistry? Is there something like unique that comes out of that mix?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
There are elements that sound European, and then there are elements that sound American. And so you'll hear some songs, and usually with the songs when the guitarists write the songs, they'll they'll take on their own songs. Like here's a song. It's rare that you'll have pieces from the other guitar player injected, except with the exception of solos. So they'll play solos on each other's songs, but it's just it's interesting because I could listen to the music and I can tell you who wrote what just by listening to it with no vocals on it. I could tell you who wrote it, because one's American, one's German, and
Yeah.
even though we all loved so much the whole Bay Area thrash thing back in the '80s, um, they're different. They're different. They have a different culture than we do, and it's just I love that mix. I love that.
Yeah. One of my favorite songs of the new album, Remember to Die, it's got that perfect, mix of the American and the European styles. Like vocally, it kind of reminds me of Anthrax. It's like
Hmm.
Anthrax and King Diamond together. It's like a weird combo, but somehow it works. It's a
Hmm.
great fucking song.
Oh,
So
It's
thank
actually
you.
my favorite song on the album too.
yeah,
Oh, cool. Thanks. That was written by the German guitar player. You wouldn't think that. Like
no,
there's American elements in it, but there's other songs that I can tell you because I mean I know their styles, you know, very very well at this point. So I know when they just hand me music, they could like group it all together, and I wouldn't know who is what, but or who did what. But I can tell you, I can say, okay, Ula did this song, or Marcus Ulrich did this song, Marcus Johansson did this song, and I'm pretty right. I'm pretty accurate picking it, but and that's how it usually is. It's like here's an album. Here's the album. Write it. It's done. So
yeah,
I mean Psychedelic Enigma was actually musically was finished, um I would say last year, but the vocals weren't completed. So it's just music. And then I'll think about what I'm going to sing, how I'm going to sing it. I put a whiteboard with a dry eraser whiteboard, and I'll write out what I want, how I want the story to go, and what in each chapter of the story. Each chapter represents a song, and then I start summarizing it, and then I have an idea now. I map out vocally what I'm going to do, like how I'm going to sing, scream, yell, whatever. And then I'll take that mapping and apply it to vocals and the lyrics. And the lyrics obviously have to make sense in the concept. Um, and it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean,
yeah,
I spend a lot of time when I get so obsessed. I get so obsessed with finishing when the record and when the music is handed to me. I have to get juiced to do it. So at one particular point in time when this was originally given to me, I was still kind of like my head was not there. And then all of a sudden something clicks and I'm dedicated, and I just every waking moment. And a lot of people don't know this, but all those albums, majority of them, the concepts, the vocalizations were all done in a car. Every
Hmm.
single one of them. I spend a lot of time in a car, um, even even past the 3 year mark for all the records. I spent a lot of time in the car, and you know what? You do like scat singing to music, and you get ideas. And then I have a studio. I'll go into the studio in my basement, and I'll demo. I'll demo, that scat singing. There's no discernible lyrics, but I get an idea of how it's going to be. And it might be slightly different with the music that sounds more European, and it may sound a little different with the American sounding music, but it has to work overall. And I think this album, especially the critics recognize that they're getting it. Like, it took 3 albums for critics to realize, holy crap, this is one, like thematically, it's one theme. It's like one story. It was kind of like a surreal moment that the critics finally realized that. But now, aside from the theme, musically, they're getting it. So that's really important to us, first and foremost, of course. Hope I
Yeah,
answered your question.
You did,
I
yeah.
don't remember
All right,
what the
cool.
question was.
Because Troy goes on a tangent, and on his ADHD tangent.
But I do like this album a lot. Because I mean, the last album I liked too. My favorite one is Seven Gables. Honestly,
Man of the Seven
yeah.
Gables.
And I like the other one. But I like all of them. But this one, it's just something. There's a lot of melody on this album, a lot of thrash stuff. But I don't know, just everything from the music and even to your vocals too. I know even you're not doing so much of the King Diamond style ish vocals anymore. I notice, and it's fine. You do a really good job with what you do. So it's good.
Well,
I love the
to
new
to
album.
be fair, Wayne, the last album it was around the same amount of the King Diamond-esque style
Right.
vocals. It was, there's a lot more singing. There's
No,
more
but like on
singing.
the earlier album, like especially on the first album, it was like all over the place.
Oh,
You did a
the
lot.
first
It's
two
like,
for sure. Yeah, for
yeah,
the first two for
yeah.
sure. I
And
agree.
you've gotten away from that, which is good. You have a good voice regardless, so
Thank you.
you get away with it. So
I don't purposely try to get away from it. Like, I use that as one of the voices when I sing,
mm,
right?
mhm,
So whether I feel if the song calls for that, or if the song calls for more like gruff, I will do it.
right,
Either way. So the first album was more geared for like a tip of the hat to King, right?
yeah.
But then on, I didn't think about it. Like, this is I want to, like, I want to sing really high, or I want it to be more, more gruff. I would do it. It didn't matter. There's nothing dictating to me what I should do or shouldn't do. I know the label wanted us to kind of like, they're like, don't change a thing, don't change a thing, but over the course of time, a band evolves.
Right.
Band has to find its own footing, in
Yeah.
its own
Yeah.
way. Like in the case of Ghost, right? I
Mhm.
was complimenting you with that, with your band, your other band,
Oh, the cover. Yeah.
7 Inch,
Mm.
yeah, where you
Thank
did the
you.
cover. I thought it was great. Great job, Lou.
Appreciate it.
So,
Thanks.
yeah, great job, great job. And I'll never forget because a lot of people in some of the reviews, and not reviews, just like comments, people say, oh, they ripped off, meaning them, ripped off
Mhm.
the Ghost logo because it's written similar. But the funny thing is, I didn't even know who the hell Ghost was. And it was like it was like 2010 that I had the logo
Yeah.
copywritten.
Ghost wasn't even around then.
No, they were like in their infancy. So I didn't even know who Ghost was. So, to be fair, and I have a copyright to prove it if there was ever like a debate over it. Um, but I have to tell you, when I first saw Ghost, and this is just my own personal opinion, and I'm not like a huge fan, but like, so I wanted to be a huge fan. So when they first played, it was one of their first shows. They played, I believe it was the Roseland when it was still around. And I remember going to the front of the stage and I was like really pumped and really excited. And they come out in a single file, not saying a word. Papa's like throwing his incense, all around. And it was the first album. And he comes out and they play, and there wasn't much spoken words. Single file walked off after their show. They performed, they opened for Mastodon.
Hmm.
And people were like, oh my God, this is so amazing. Oh my God. And I'm sitting there, I don't get it. Wait, did I miss something? It was one of those points in time, like I just didn't get it. Now, over the course of time, I bought their album, I bought like merch. I was so excited to see them, and I was confused. I didn't get it. So, okay, well, maybe in time things will change. I wasn't getting it. I wasn't getting it. I didn't get I didn't enjoy, and I'm giving you my opinion. I didn't get the humor. Like I knew it was when they were trying to be humorous in their little skits and whatnot. I didn't get it. Again, I'm not trying to judge them. They're very popular. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I just went to see them at Madison Square Garden,
Mm.
and they played by themselves. They sold out, and I went there, and I was blown away, just floored. Like, wow,
Yeah, I was at that show. They
you were
put
there too?
on. Yeah, it's like
What a great show!
they are basically continuing the tradition of what bands like Kiss did before them, like just
Yeah,
spectacle.
it was
And
incredible.
yeah,
Yeah, Lou. So I was sitting there thinking, wow, I remember how I felt confused, not getting it where people were getting it. Because I always thought, you know, when a band performs, and Bobby could probably attest to this, you you've there's a certain transfer of energy between the band and the audience. And it's like the energy is transferred to the audience, you know, gives back energy. And there's this constant flow of energy between the audience and the band. That's when the band connects with the audience. I didn't get that from Ghost back then. I did this time, this last show at the Garden, but I didn't get it initially, and I wanted to get that. I wanted to feel that. When we perform live, when them performs live, we have that energy because the band is almost like a thrash band with keyboards and like a proggy death metal type of drummer. So there's a lot of energy when we perform live. And we have that flow because I look out into the audience and I see people, they're like mesmerized and they're into that energy exchange. That's what I always want. I feel that when a band has masks, that you lose a certain amount of that energy. It's harder for a band, sorry, it's harder for people to connect with the band when they don't know who they're looking at. They don't see facial expressions. They don't see the sweat pouring from their face. They just don't, they lose that when the band wears a mask. That's one of the reasons why when Bobby and I were talking about the prosthetic that I wanted to make for my character, I didn't want it to cover my whole face. I wanted to cover a piece of the face so they could still see the expressions. They could still see the sweat. They could still get the human, the human quality as to what's from me as a character while I'm performing. Because with a mask, a complete mask, you lose that. Um, but again, there are bands obviously that are very successful that wear masks. I just think that I try to like the stuff that I've done. I just try to keep that open so that energy can flow. But Ghost are great. They're great now. They're really great from what I saw them last time. I was really, really impressed.
I didn't like them either when they first came out. I actually didn't
No?
start liking them. I think it took Square Hammer for me to say that they were okay. But
Oh, I said
then
the same thing. Yeah,
but
like you,
then
Lou.
Prequel came out, and uh
Rats for me.
Yes, of course I love the song Rats, but I think it was the song Dance Macabre that won me over because at the time my wife was pregnant, about a month or two away from giving birth to our daughter, and we were just spending more and more time together. And I'm like, yep, that's my demon queen.
I got to tell you something. It's funny you bring up Rats.
I didn't bring up Rats, that was
No,
Bobby.
Bobby, sorry, Bobby brought Rats, but the first time I heard Rats, I'm like very good with like I should be like a Go Fish game champion because I pick things up like that, and I'm like, where did I hear that from? Where did I hear that from? Rats, the music. Listen to the song called Stars. Remember that song, We Are
Oh
Stars?
yeah,
We
yeah,
are
yeah.
stars. The same chord progression. It's almost exact. Listen and compare it to Rats
Holy
and
shit, he's
Stars.
right.
It's almost identical.
I even
You
That's
could
sick.
sing the song Stars over Rats
You
or
could
vice
say
versa.
that about 1,000 songs, though, bro.
You can, but
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
not
Bobby, when you
a
first hear the
million. There's not
song,
a million things to do with heavy metal. It's you got to stay in a certain. You know what I'm saying?
you have a
You know,
point. But
I
to
could see.
me, it
You
was
know,
just the beat, it was just the progression. It's slightly different, but it's you could sing we are stars. You could sing that song over Rats or vice versa. I thought it was wild. I was like, that's Rats. That Rats is stars. Stars is Rats.
You know, bands are guilty of doing that to themselves all the time. Like we were talking music from the Elder at one point, and I realized the song Mr. Blackwell, if you think about it, the lyrical phrasing, it's calling Dr. Love.
Yeah,
So it
you got a point. You have a
happens.
point. It does.
well, let me tell you what I'm impressed by.
Brother. Sorry, couldn't help it.
Fear City. That's my favorite Them album. I love that album. I like the little reference to like 22 Acacia Avenue and Retro 54. I know you're being slick with that shit too, Troy. And
It's
and
a New
You
also
York
got
thing.
me. You got me, Stan. You got me.
I get that escape from New York vibe also, you know, with the little voiceovers and stuff. I was actually listening to the album when I was commuting on the train, and I hear like, you know, oh, the next stop is 57th Street. And I'm like, wait, what? Oh, it's a recording. Because I thought it was like the actual train operator. So, so like that is a great fucking album,
New
man.
York will go New York.
Thank you. So I gotta tell you something, Stan.
Mm.
When I
Bobby,
was
you're okay
doing
on
that
time,
album,
right? By the way, Bobby,
what's up?
you're
Are you
okay with
okay on
time?
time?
we're almost done.
Am I limited on time? Is that
Yeah,
what you
are you
said?
okay with the time?
Um,
We're just
yeah,
gonna
no,
keep
I'm all
going.
right.
If you have to go,
I'm
it's
all
okay.
right.
Okay,
I'm
all
all
right,
right right
cool.
now.
All right, good.
I just
What do you
got
mean?
I gotta say one thing about that to Stan. So those little interludes that are injected in between the songs in Fear City, they're actually basically recreations of segments of the Warriors.
Mm.
And where I actually had a voice actress record, hello boppers, and she
Yeah.
would go and say what is happening, but in the world of KK and where they're going, and it was just so much fun to do that record. Even the very intro of that album, there's little clips that the intro of the record I created, aside from the music. The music I didn't create. The music was created by our band, but
Right.
there's like little snippets of little things that are happening. When I was a child, I was an actor, and I did TV commercials, and I did a movie, and I took my commercial, I put it in there because it was
I
from
was
the
on The
eight. It was from the 80s.
Sopranos.
You
Oh
on The
yeah.
Sopranos?
Yes, I was.
Really?
Season 4, episode 2.
I'm on
Look
the
for
season
me.
three,
I'm gonna
episode
watch
one right
that.
now.
I'm gonna watch that. Season 4, episode 2.
Troy,
They
I hope
put
the
me
movie
right in
wasn't fun
shot.
in Balloon Land.
What was that?
I hope the movie you were in wasn't fun in Balloon Land.
No, it was called
That was a horrible movie.
no, 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 no. It was called Golden Rivet. And what it was a movie made for Australian television, and I actually had to learn how to speak with an Australian accent as a kid.
Can,
Oh,
can you
mate.
still can you still do an Australian accent?
I could do one line. Ready? I could do one line. Ready? Ready?
My buddy Cam.
I'm gonna do one line. I remember it. Well, if I take the light and put the light in, then I can see.
That's convincing. I
That's
just want
not it, guys.
if I just
That was
want
a
That
line in the
nice.
movie. Hey, listen, I'm gonna put a bounty out there. If anybody could find Golden Rivet, I'll pay for that. I can't find it.
Hmm.
I can't find
It's
it. I
gotta
was
be
part of the
somewhere.
Screen Actors Guild. I contacted them. There's archives, but like I haven't found it. I don't have time to really look for it, but it's out there. But I again, one of the commercials I did was a commercial called Shoots Away, Night Rescue. I don't know if any of you guys remember that game. There's little
Mhm.
parachutes that you drop in these little cups back in the late 70s. The first iteration of the game was called Shoots Away, and the TV commercials that were out aired starred Dick Van Dyke. The commercial I did was Shoots Away Night Rescue, which was part two, and the only difference was it had a little light, little flashlight that you just flick on, and you could play it in the dark. That was like the big technology innovation back in the late 70s.
I love the
And
old 70s TV commercials.
oh yeah, they're
Like
great.
the Kiss Amigo dolls. Kiss.
Oh
Is
yeah.
that the name? Kiss.
Oh my
So
God.
bad.
I know, but it's just classic, you know. And anyway, so this clip of the commercial I injected into the intro of Fierce City, and the intro is called Exito. So like I do little things, like I give
Hey,
little tips of the hat to different for horror, for music. I've had all my kids recording different things on the albums. I had my dog. How many people put their dog on an album? I put my dog on the third album. I've had all different friends involved, voiceover actors and actresses. I've had so much fun with this because I believe it encompasses everything that I love and I'm passionate about, which is music and horror and you know, just imagination.
Yes. I got a question for Bobby and Troy, actually. You guys are two very talented singers. Like, how do you guys prepare when you record songs? Do you have any like warm-up rituals?
who's
You want
going first?
you could go, Bobby. You go first. I don't want to be too much of a whore.
I maybe, I might do a little like hit a couple notes, but I go low to medium, to upper register, start off slow. You don't want to go, blow your vocal cords out or anything,
Mm-hmm.
right away with like a heavy scream or something. But I got to tell you the truth, man. Maybe I'll sing an Iron Maiden song or a Lizzie Borden song, you know what I mean? And that helps me warm up. I don't really do any kind of like special exercises or anything like that. I mean, basically, I sing Dio, and then the next minute I'm doing Halford, then the next minute I'm doing Dickinson, when I'm with Denim and Leather, Udo, and they're all like kind of the same but different. Dio's more dirty. He's got a lot of more dirty stuff. He doesn't go really upper register a lot. So I don't know, man. When I do Bruce, I mean, for me, that encompasses everything.
Mm.
For me, the lows, the mids, the highs. He's my favorite singer. Bruce Dickinson's my idol. All right. I mean, when I went to go see him a couple months back, again in Pennsylvania, um, fantastic. And I saw Tate a couple weeks later with Operation Mindcrime do the whole Operation Mindcrime album, and I was fucking floored. I was blown away. That guy
Hmm.
Todd Latour, he's got nothing on Jeff Tate. Nothing. Tate has been coming back. He's been working. There was a little while there we was slipping, and a lot of people were
Mhm.
like, you didn't sound that good tonight. Yeah. Taste losing it. Let me tell you something. Go see him now. Go
Yeah.
see him now. He was fucking amazing. He did the whole album front to back, and then did a bunch of fucking classic Queensryche after it. And I was just like, duh. You know, I mean, he pulled his mic back a couple times with some of the real highs, but hey, I'll take it. You know what I mean? He was phenomenal. Bruce, unbelievable for a man his age. It's ridiculous how good
Yeah.
that guy is.
He's insane. He's a tank.
Ridiculous.
The tank. That guy.
Ridiculous. I fucking, we were right up front too, right in the middle, right at the rail, man. I was like, I was in my glory, man, to be that close to Bruce. Unbelievable, man. But those two guys just, they blew me away, man. And I gotta say, I gotta put Bruce a little bit higher than Jeff Tate, only because he's older, and he was able to go for 2 hours straight. Okay, Bruce, unfucking real. If you got a chance to go see him on this Mandrake tour, fucking
did.
go,
Yeah.
run now.
Yeah,
Start
Sam
running
went.
now.
Sam
Listen.
saw him in Brooklyn.
Hearing him do Flash of the Blade, I mean,
Yeah,
fucking amazing, right?
he did it. He was unreal, man. And let me tell you, Tate too. I gotta say, I saw Queensryche with Todd Latour, and a lot of people were hyping him up, and I saw him. I wasn't really. I was like, he's all right, man. He's doing a lot of ducking and diving, man. He couldn't do Tate like Tate. You know, he had to like adjust here and there and skip some high notes. So, you know, for me, the way people were talking, they're like, oh, this guy, oh, he just did Tate, oh, the classics, this and that. This was when they were doing the classics. It was only fucking classic Queensryche. None of the new stuff they recorded with him, because they were already like 2 albums in with Todd Latour, original albums with him. And I was like, I could have did a better job.
I think that's what it is. I think they
So
just
I'm
care
sorry,
about the.
but I could have. I really.
I think the only thing they care about with Tyler Torre is that he sticks with the first 3 or 4 albums. I think that's what it is. So.
You know, I mean, listen, I sing Queensryche. I know what has to go into it. I know there's a lot of emotion in Queensryche, a lot. And that's what Jeff Tate, I think, brought to heavy metal that was lacking at the time. And that's one of the reasons that Jeff Tate, when he came out, he hit so hard and people were like, whoa, holy shit, listen to this guy. He upped the ante for heavy metal vocalists, okay? He really did. And the amount of emotion he put in that music, I listen to it still today and I'm like blown away. I'm like, this fucking guy, you know, he's one of my favorites. I mean, him, John Arch, Dio, Halford, Bruce Dickinson. That's probably my top 5 right there. But yeah, he was amazing. I don't even know what the question was again. Please.
Warm up before vocal
Yeah,
takes.
warm ups.
You ain't
Yeah. So basically, I'll do a Bruce song or a Lizzie Borden song, or only because I'll remember all the words.
What Lizzie? What Lizzie?
So
Oh, that's
what Lizzie
honest.
Borden song? What Lizzie Borden song? I'm curious.
Notorious. From Menace to Society, second song. Outrageous fucking song. Yeah. Outrageous. I'm trying to get Denim and Leather to fucking do that song, man.
You know what we need to do, Lou? Maybe, possibly, if we could try to do it, get Bobby and Troy to do a song with us together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Count me
That'd
in.
be great. Sure. Rat Side Review and
Pick some kind of cover song.
You know, we did cool. We did a great version of Killers with Bobby. I love it. And
that was great. Yeah.
Even my family members who were raised on Maiden were just like, that's you guys?
Thank you.
That's Severed Angel with somebody else. I'm like, yeah, that's Bobby from Attacker. So, you know, they were just like, man, it sounds new. It sounds fresh. I'm like, yeah, it was done this year. But of course, I'm always down. You know, I gotta actually make some time now that I'm back to working again. I'm no longer on the unemployment line. You know, I can probably only record on the weekends, but you know, we're already talks about doing a special EP with Bobby for Rat Side Review and Friends. That's a tribute to
Ozzy, right? Ozzy.
Spoiler alert, it's Ozzy. And
My bad. My bad.
Yeah, subtlety is not one of your best qualities, my friend, but I love you anyway. But of course, yeah, I'd love to do something with Troy as well. I mean,
Sure.
don't forget, I knew of Troy back from his days with Cold Steel with my buddy Greg Hawk, who was my
Oh,
replacement in
Huck.
the Rush tribute band I was in. Which, by the way, have you seen Greg or I think Craig Crawford moved to Florida, another old friend of ours.
Craig Crawford?
That's Greg's cousin.
Yeah, no. Craig. It did not move to Florida. He has a place in Florida.
Ah,
Yeah, he's in Garden City.
oh, he's still in Garden City with
Yeah,
Cindy.
he's still
Okay,
there.
cool.
Yeah, I just saw him Sunday. Unfortunately, his brother passed
Yeah,
away, and
that I know. Yeah.
I've been helping fix up the brother's house. I was very close with his brother
Right,
and
because
Oh,
his
him.
bro
sorry.
his brother did I guess tech work for you guys.
He did tech work. He helped with prosthetics. He helped with, like creating all different types of environments.
Yeah.
Like we built a whole like a cemetery facade,
Yeah.
like a 12-foot cemetery facade for our first album. He helped me build it.
See,
So his brother.
that's a beautiful thing about like this little scene that we have here on Long Island. It's like, everyone knows each other and like, we know each other's families and we're always wishing the best for each other. There's never
Yeah.
any jealousy.
No.
And if anyone's going to be a jealous prick, we have no problem excommunicating them
Yeah.
from
Right.
we don't need that kind of toxicity out here.
Yeah.
So
So Troy, what about you? What vocal rituals you have?
So, for a while, I did some studying with Melissa Cross. I don't know if
Mhm.
any of you
the
heard of
Zen
her.
of screaming.
Yeah, yeah. Did a little bit of training with her. I did what for when I do a record, when I go to record, what I'll do to warm up, I'll do some vocal exercises before I even go into the studio for
Mhm.
about 15, 20 minutes. And then okay, they'll run the track and I'll just sing to it as what I'm going to record, but it's not kept. It's scratch. It's all scratch. I'll create a scratch track, and once we go through the whole song, by the time that happens, in conjunction with the warm up exercises that I would do before, I'm ready to go. And then we
Nice.
tackle section by section, and it's weird. Sometimes I've recorded sequentially. So if it's like, verse, bridge, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, or verse, chorus, bridge, etc., I would do it sequentially. But this album, I said, you know what? I want to do the choruses first, or I want to do the bridge, or I want to do the verses first. And then we would focus in, and I would do all the voices that I had in my mind for each section and then we would listen to it, and then I would go back and say, I want to add this or sleep on it. And what I would do is record all the songs, and when all the songs were done, then I come back on like a cleanup day. I'll come back and I would say, okay, I want to add these layers here, and I want to fix this or do that, but nothing has ever been really, really changed completely. Um, but it helps to get warmed up. So different people have their own rituals.
Mhm.
Bobby does what he does. I do what I do.
I
And the
thought you
same
were
thing.
talking about live, by the way. I thought you were
Oh,
talking about
live?
live.
Were you
Yeah.
talking about recording, Stan? I thought I heard you
Yeah,
say
recording
recording.
or live.
Or
It doesn't
live, yeah.
matter.
I do this. I do, well, it's not the same thing. I would do the warm up about 20 minutes and then,
Yeah.
oh, one's very interesting thing. I don't know if Bobby has ever done this. I'm sure as a singer, Bobby has come across this. One time I was in Hamburg with the band and we were going to play. The night before, I don't smoke cigarettes, right? So we played a show in another part of Germany the night before, and people were smoking right there. It's not like the States where, people, oh, you can't smoke where the band's playing. You have to smoke in the back or whatever, designated area. Nah, they were smoking right in front of me, right in front of the band, and it affected my voice. Right, smoke affects my voice. Cigarette smoke. So it kind of messed me up. So the next day, I was like, oh my God, I had a hard time. Like I could barely talk. So my cords just tightened up and separated, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Oh shit, I'm gonna get myself some cognac. So I got
That'll do
cognac,
it.
and the cognac puts the chords back together right before you
Jägermeister.
start.
I
I
do
didn't try
Jaeger.
Jaeger. You do Jaeger? Yeah, I didn't. I
Yep,
never tried Jaeger, but cognac, I always keep a
always
bottle of cognac when we play
Could have
live.
used some KK spray. I should have cleared you
long
right up.
shot.
Yes,
I still,
KK spray.
I still have
I
it.
have it. Wait, hold on, I got it right over here. Hold on, I got it right here. KK spray.
I
Here
should
we go.
warm up my hands before I do a gig. I play 3 hour shows and I
There
should
it
really
is.
warm up.
KK spray. Well, KK spray is just it's cherry schnapps. This actually was spray. This alcoholic spray was created by our keyboardist Richie Zeibel, and he worked with a refinery on a formula, and they sell these at our shows. For like
Nice.
five
Wow.
euros. You can't sell it here, but over there we play, and this is at the merch table. People are walking around like this, spraying the cherry schnapps. And sometimes if we're performing, people will come up and they want to spray it in my mouth, or if we meet them after the show, they spray it in my mouth. It's hysterical. It's
Yeah, use it
hysterical.
as Banaka.
I
Hello,
wasn't expecting
Fraulein.
that.
Hello, Fraulein. You want to come with me to the Casbah? Yeah.
So yeah, we have these things, and they people they get a kick out of it. These little
Yeah.
tchotchkes that we have. You know.
Too
Cool.
funny. Too funny.
I learned about Jägermeister in Germany actually because it wasn't around here yet. This was 1997, and I started getting sick, and
Jaeger did
we
it
were
for you.
recording with Ziggy Bem, and our engineer was this guy Matthias, and he says, Matthias, go across the street and get some Jägermeister, and he brings it back, and he's like, oh, drink this, and I drank it, and boom, I was back. So he's like, it's like a cough syrup, it's got all these ingredients, special ingredients. And I didn't know at the time nothing about Jaeger. Now it's like one of the biggest thing. All of a sudden it blew up with the college kids and you saw it everywhere. Jägermeister.
I
But
mean,
that was the first time I drank it was on that Seven Witches album, the first one, Second War in Heaven.
in the early 2000s, you actually had like barmaids walking around the venues selling
Yeah.
shots of Jägermeister. I was like,
Yeah.
this isn't great. I mean, I love Jägermeister, but even I gotta admit, it's like it's so sweet. It's like you just drink it, and it's like you don't realize I'm messing myself up. But
Yeah.
I'll take a good old Jaeger bomb any day. It's the only time I'll ever drink Red Bull.
Yeah. I hate Red Bull. Red Bull's
So
nasty.
I can only
See what
drink
I
it with a
drink?
Jaeger shot.
This is what I drink. Ghost.
Coast. There you go.
It's like a lot of sour flavors. This is Welch's grape. It's fantastic. It's the best.
Now, is that grape juice or grape drink? There's a difference.
It's like it's an energy drink. So it's got a little fizz to it. But man, it's like it tastes like Welch's grape juice. But it's
I gotta check that out.
200 milligrams of natural caffeine. It's good. It's got vitamins in it too. So
I'll be dead.
I'm gonna try that.
you hear it?
Wayne's like, Lou, drink it.
Ghost, I want to
Endorsement.
yes, right. That's right. Pricks.
And Troy, before we head out of here, well, you got something else to say, Stan?
I had a couple of more questions actually.
All right, let me ask this one first, though.
Okay.
You've been asking too many.
Okay.
At the end of the album, going back to the new album, quick. At the end of it, I really liked where that went because it brought you into like your real world. You're
Don't spoil it.
Oh, it's an album. Who cares?
Don't spoil it.
I won't spoil it. Forget
Spoiled
it. No, but I liked where it went. Where it brought up your name and stuff like that, and then it brought you into like kind of like your personal kind of world a little bit. What was your like? Did you know that at some point you were going to do that on any album, or did it just come to you with this album, or how'd you come up with that?
I didn't know I was going to do that. So there's two pieces to that puzzle. As I was telling you earlier, that when I was recording that one song, Night of a Thousand Tears from Fear City, And I said, oh my God, this parallels my life.
Mm.
Now, register that. You fast forward, Marcus Ulrich, the German guitar player, wanted to do something that wasn't expected. So I said, all right, I have an idea because of what I experienced while recording, realizing that this whole story kind of paralleled my life in a tragedy sense, the way I felt. So what I did was I said, you know what? This album is going to consist of two dimensions, right? Where you have half the songs touch upon moments throughout the albums of KK's journey, and the other half are in Troy's reality. Where there were similarities, there's a potential convergence. Okay. And this convergence changes the face of everything. And if you listen to the very end of the album, so anybody who might want to listen to the record, you listen, there's not much dialogue. The dialogue really is at the end
Mm.
of this particular album, which is a little different than the other albums we've released. And the other album can be interpreted a few different ways. It's the end, it's the beginning of something new, right? But regardless, there's a twist. And the twist is it shows what's happening in Troy's life, right? Since I mentioned I've been writing about a fictitious parallel, not even realizing it because I personally have experienced tremendous loss. I viewed it as I lost my family when I got divorced, and you know, Peter Thompson, who was the character, was my ex-friend who married my wife. Like, so there was these similarities that I didn't realize. I realized at that moment during the recording of in during the Fear City session, and I said, I'm gonna I'm gonna incorporate this idea, and this idea, if it would continue, would change the face of KK. Elements would be the same. KK will evolve. It will be present day in our reality, and it could go in so many different directions that are more horror oriented even before. So I'm not going to spoil it. I don't think I did by saying what I said, but anybody who's the best way to listen to the record is listening to it, reading the lyrics while they're listening, and you get to the very, very last track, which is a dialogue only track. Has a little bit of background, John Carpenter-ish type of music that accompanies it. But when you listen to it, you're like, I know it could mean this, it could mean this, it could mean this. I'm not going to say what this is, but it's something that could spawn into another dimension of the story, but in reality, because we learn something happens that is it real? Isn't it? It is real, or isn't it real? You know, and I just think that the person who is invested in the theme of the story thus far will really enjoy it. And some of the reviews I've seen, because we've had a lot of reviews, they've all been great reviews on the average. They're like, wow, they like the twist. And I'm not going to say who wrote it, but there was actually two different reviewers, um, fairly big sites too. And they knew exactly, like they picked it. They said maybe it's this, and they were like, oh my, I'm like, oh my God, like did they like read my mind? They knew exactly where I was going with that, because they were saying it could go this way, and I'm like, they're right on, they're dead on, you know. So I like having fun with this type of stuff because I like, I love horror. And by the way, all you boys and girls need to go see Return of the Living Dead remake coming out in December. Don't you forget. Here's my shirt. Got my shirt on. Return of the Living Dead.
Mm,
My shameless plug.
Are you in it?
All you guys that
No,
like
Hey,
I
Ed
yeah,
no,
what
Gein,
is
I love it. I love it. Have you
Yeah,
ever
but it's a
seen the movie
remake.
Return of
It's
the?
of course.
So what? It's gonna be great. But go ahead.
Hmm.
It's gonna be great.
all you people who like Ed Gein on Netflix that are flipping out over Ed Gein,
Oh yeah,
if
I
you're
saw you
getting
post
into
something about this. Yeah, what is this about? What?
yeah, watch Ed Kemper. That fucking shit is fucked up. Seriously. It's on Prime. If you got Prime, it's free. So don't
And
you
if
know?
it's
Don't
free,
worry.
you know it's for me.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
People don't want to pay $4 or $5 for a fucking movie. Some of them. I'm like, dude,
Especially
what
when you're already paying for it.
it's a big deal. It's $4 or $5 fucking dollars. What the fuck is wrong with you? Watch the movie. You know, if you can't get it for free, oh, what, you're never gonna fucking watch it?
Mm-mm-mm.
Come on, man.
You
Get
could
out of
always
here.
you could
Watch
always go
that.
to Gujara and find some movies, but you didn't hear it
And
from me.
if you like shark movies, check out Beast of War. Beast
Ooh,
of War.
heard of
It's
that one.
intense. It's fucking
Check it out.
intense. It's from World War II. It's about an Australian detachment that are in I guess in their fucking ship and they gets torpedoed. So and it's a true story. And they're all like clinging to these fucking pieces of the fucking boat and they make a raft, their own raft, and this great white shark starts picking them off one by one. Big 20-foot great white. Seriously, you gotta check it out, man. If you like Jaws and you like that fucking rubber big old fucking mechanical shark coming out of the water, this is all practical effects. They actually built a fucking mechanical shark like Jaws, and
Crazy.
this
That's
fucking
crazy.
makes it shit scary because it don't look like CGI. CGI is fucking garbage, most of it.
What's it
So
called
unless
again?
you have a lot of money, you know.
What's it called
Anyway,
again?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Beast of War.
What is it called?
Beast of War.
Beast of War.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Real cool. That's like Primitive War. Did you hear about
Mm.
that one?
No.
Yes.
That's the dinosaur one where it's
Yep.
what Jurassic Park should have been with these dinosaurs are like ripping people up and eating them.
That's
Like in
yeah.
Michael Crichton's book. Michael Crichton's book ain't like a fucking Disney movie, you know? And Michael Crichton's book is way better than the fucking movie, in my opinion. You know, Steven Spielberg. I mean, what do you have? Like one person that got eaten, and you don't really see it. The T Rex grabs him. I don't know. It wasn't a bad movie. Don't get me wrong. The CGI was ahead of
Yeah,
its time.
off the toilet seat. I remember that. That was great. That was
Which
hilarious.
one?
Yeah, the T-Rex eats the guy off the toilet
Yeah,
seat.
no, the CGI was top notch. I don't think anybody has come close or surpassed that until James Cameron did the second Avatar movie. The second Avatar movie, I just went to see it with my girlfriend because they had like a little, he brought it back for a few days into the theater. And I never saw it. I saw the first one. But when I saw the second one, I was fucking blown away. Seriously, never have I ever seen CGI so realistic and 3D so amazing. It was seriously, man. If you have a chance to ever, well, the new one's coming out, so go see the new one. Fire and Ash or some shit. I don't know.
Mhm.
But
Uh,
great.
so Troy, I just got two last ones for you.
Okay.
Um, one of them is like, when you get music sent over and you hear all these riffs and stuff like that, like do you see like the scenes in your head unfolding and like where you want some of that story to go? Like this is where this part goes, oh, this riff sounds cool, this section sounds really cool. I think this is where this should happen. That kind of thing. Almost like a film composer, like
Exactly. That's
yeah.
exactly correct, Stan. So what I do is I'll take the songs. So when the songs are written and sent over to me, they're coded. Okay. So usually it'll be each album's the same thing. Them 01, if there's 10 tracks, all the way to them 10, for example. What I do is I'll take a spreadsheet and I'll take the spreadsheet and I'll put them 01 all the way to them 010, put the BPMs or the beats per minute, and I try to really start off the story like like musically, because the music relates the mood, right? So the music is usually like more like bombastic. It and again, most of the time, it will die down and then build back up to more of a climatic ending. So I try to I try to do that. This time, I just felt this is more of like, hey, it's psychedelic, right? So it's psychedelic. It could be all over the place. So we didn't have any type of ballad like music this time. So everything was pretty heavy. Heavy is much heavier than before. And I map it out. And as the songs, usually what I do, I'll we come up with the title first. So actually, for the first three records, I had the titles. I already had the
Mm.
titles of the albums, and then as I write the album, I'll come up with all the titles, right? And no rhyme or reason. Like the title doesn't have to necessarily be in the song. So the titles are written, and then once the titles are written, then and the title represents the part of the story or the chapter, and then the lyrics fill in, right? To
Mm.
make the to convey what's happening in that chapter. But yeah, I put it all over the place. I map it out. I have like a spreadsheet. It's almost like very scientific like initially. I work
Mhm.
with a whiteboard and everything's coded. Then in the spreadsheet, them 01 equals catatonia or ad rem or the name of the title, right?
Right.
And then in the summary, then I'll take what I wrote on the whiteboard and I'll put it in the spreadsheet. So I start refining it and refining it and refining it. So when I get to the point of actually writing the lyrics, I know exactly what I have to like story wise, I know how to put to it. I'll put it to the song. I've never done that before them. Like I would write a song, I would write the song. Sometimes the title came out later. Um, like I'll give you an example. I had a very bad car accident. I haven't really spoken about this to many people, but it's been quite some time. Back in 2019, there was an accident, and unfortunately, the individual had passed away in my
Mm.
accident. Very sad moment. I was devastated. There's nothing I could do to fix that, so I had a hard time dealing with it emotionally. So what I did was I wrote a song, okay? And I'll never forget, this song has not been published yet. I wrote it with a Swedish songwriter who I've written with before, like a one-off. I've done one-offs with this guy, and he's a great songwriter. And his name is Lincoln. Um, so we wrote this song. It's called "The Moment Before You Die," and I truly believe I think it's one of the best songs I've ever written. I would love to see it published one day. It was written and recorded. My parts were recorded, final parts, back in 2019. And it's not like it's got like little elements. It might have like a little bit high stuff in it, but it's more gruff. It's more of a chugging, like a more of a chugging song, like more heavy, like a heavy rock, not thrash, but like a heavy rock. And we just wrote a great song together. And I keep nudging him periodically. Problem is, he moved to Barcelona, and the rest of his band is in Sweden. So the band is called Secret Society, and it's just you I remember when I came up with that title, "The Moment Before You Die." I came up, and I was sitting on a toilet, like, what am I going to call this song? Like, I'm writing this song. I'm pouring my heart into it. I'm pouring out the experience in this song. And then all of a sudden it hit me, "The Moment Before You Die." But it's a single song. It's not a theme. It's a story, self-contained story. So that's what I normally know how to write. I don't map things out like what's the code name of the song, what happens in this chapter of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
I've written albums where there would be a theme for the record, but just artwork wise, like artwork and presentation, but individual song titles were individual stories. Here, them with the band, then it's totally different. It's it's a story, and each segment of the story can self sustain itself. It could be the end, or it could go on. And that's how I know there are, I can't name the bands. Maybe Wayne knows, maybe you guys know, any of you guys know. There are a handful of bands that have done this type of style where it's one story spanning across multiple albums. There's at least to my knowledge 3 to 5 bands that have done this. So it's not like it's, earth-shattering, brand new, something brand new, but I don't know if the other bands have done it in a horror-esque sense. This
Mhm.
is more of it's like a horror story. And one of the reasons why the first record did so well, I mean, I had my daughter's name is Amanda. And in the story, the daughter of KK is Miranda.
Yeah.
So who died, and you hear the girl crying, "Daddy, save me!" That was my daughter recording, by the way, when she was younger. And I got to tell you, it moved people. People connected to that, and that's one of the reasons why we got like a lot of people really liked that record. And I just kept the concept going for a few records, meaning that element. So he was always chasing the family value. Which is what I was doing in
Yeah.
real life when my kids were taken away from me. So it's it's so different writing this style versus writing individual songs for like a regular like heavy metal band or rock band or whatever.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
I love what we've created. I'm very happy. Even if nothing else was ever created, I don't think I would ever do something like this again. But it was awesome, and I didn't. Nobody told me how to do it. I just did it. It was fun. It's fun.
Awesome. Last one. Maybe it's just me, but like I noticed that each of your album covers have their own color palette. You got Sweet Hollows green, Manor is red, Return is like light blue, Fear City is dark blue, and the new one is pink. Is that like did you do that on purpose or like what? Like
Yeah, I did.
that's done.
All the color schemes,
Yeah.
artwork has been like, for example, like this particular artist, like we used an artist for the first record. His name was Vance Kelly. Vance Kelly was known to make collage style movie like posters
Hmm.
for different types of movies. Like he did an Aliens collage, and hey, look, I was a big Star Wars fan back in the day as well, and I always loved the movie posters because the movie poster would give you a collage of snippets of what was happening with the characters in the
Yeah.
story, right? And that's what I wanted for Sweet Hollow, and that was conveyed through Vance Kelly's artwork. I would have had him continue doing the art, but he got too busy, and so that wasn't feasible. But his artwork was exactly what I wanted. I told him this is how I want it, and the same thing with all the artists. The next guy, he did a few of the records. Mario Lopez, great artist, and I would say, I want every detail. That wasn't just conjured up. It was every detail has been dictated to all the artists by me. Color schemes, um, like you said, the first album, Stone. Second album is Fire. Third album is
Yeah.
Lightning. Fourth album is Toxic Chemical Waste. Okay, and the fifth album is another dimension. There are two different dimensions, and it has a. You said pink. It's more like a fuchsia colored, purplish fuchsia colored on the outside. On the inside of the LP, when you open it, it's the second dimension, and it's green. So the inside is green, the outside is this fuchsia purple color, and they're actually mirrored images. So to a degree. So on the front cover of Psychedelic Enigma, you have Troy dropping a match, and KK is standing beneath, going to catch fire with cans of gasoline in front of him. But on the middle of the album, it's the flip. So it's KK throwing a skull, and then Troy is underneath him. And the them logo on the inside, we put the them logo on the inside instead of an inverted cross. It's a regular cross. And Psychedelic Enigma is spelled backwards, as you would see it in the mirror. So it's to both the outside cover and the inside cover are there to represent both dimensions and everything, color, the color scheme of each album. When we performed live, we had the matching colors to that album. So when we performed Matter of the Seven Gables, everything had a red color to it. Each band member would wear an inverted cross on their right side of their chest. I don't know if you've seen live pictures, but they would wear that. And that color of that inverted cross changed. That inverted cross represented the mark of evil that KK had burned onto his face, which was created courtesy of Bobby Lucas. And they wore that same mark, right? So, and that mark never changed. It never changed, but it could change if the story continued with remnants of KK. But is it KK? Maybe it's Troy. Maybe it's Troy KK. Maybe it's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of character now. So it could go in a lot of different directions. But yes, all the color schemes were were explicitly dictated. The art, the details in the art. If I could draw it myself, I would have. But we had these unbelievable artists draw it because that's what they do. And this last artist, originally the inside of the gatefold LP was originally supposed to be the outside cover. And because the artist Giannis from Greece, he just said, "Hey, look, I'm just gonna, this is how I draw. This is how I do things. I just do it, and we'll tweak it." It didn't represent what I thought, what I was thinking, but because of the two dimensions, I said this will work on the inside cover. This is not the color scheme that I was thinking of. Let's do it the way I'm thinking. And now here I gave him all the ideas, and he did it, and it came out the way it did, and I'm happy with it. We're all happy with it, and
Nice.
that's it.
Where can people buy the album?
The album, where
Yeah,
can they buy it?
yeah.
If you buy it online, you could buy it from Best Buy, Target, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, Walmart. Just put in Psychedelic Enigma, Psychedelic Enigma, and you could order it, and it's shipping now.
Awesome.
So,
All right.
or you can go to a local record store. Like there's a local record store that Wayne and I were going to go to, and they have it. They'll
Record
have it
Stop
there
in
Friday.
Patchogue.
Yeah, they'll have it there. I had called them that day you and I were supposed to go, and they said, "Oh, we don't have it now, but it will be here. We'll have it on the floor November 7th."
And if
Right?
you get the record, it comes with that EP, right?
Yeah, so we released when I was talking to you guys before about that song that was like surreal, that oh my God, this is, parallel to my life. Those two songs that we recorded, actually there were three. They were supposed to be bonus tracks, which were never meant to, they never turned out to be bonus tracks. We took those tracks and we made an EP, a digital release only, called The Goblin Sessions. And why is it called The Goblin Sessions? Because we're a few of us are Dario Argento fans who've made some great, awesome,
Demoni.
B grade movies like Demons and Demons 2 and Bobby, did you watch any of them?
Say it, Lou.
Tenebrae.
Demons
Lou
and
did?
Demon 2 was Lamberto Bava
No, but
did make
the
those.
Yeah,
yeah, but
Argento
the
produced them.
Argento produced them. You're right. Yeah.
Dario produced them, but yeah, no, I know a lot about Goblin. Actually, I went to go see
Tenebrae.
Claudio Simonetti's Goblin. We went to see them live, again in Pennsylvania. As a matter of fact, it was fucking fantastic, man. So, and
So we-
then I got to go see Fabio Frizzi and he actually scored the movie Zombie right there in the club. It
Great
was
soundtrack.
amazing.
Well,
Fucking amazing.
Goblin did a number of, you know, they were known to do the soundtracks, right, for a number
Yep.
of the movies,
For
including
Argento.
Tenebrae. Yeah, for Argento, and
He did a lot
so
of them.
we covered two songs, so they were instrumentals, and Tenebrae was one of them, and that's what's released in the Goblin sessions. So that was kind of like, hey, look, you know, we're not going to release the new Them album. Let's release this EP digital only. So as a bonus, on side D of the double album of Psychedelic Enigma, the label included the Goblin Sessions and on vinyl. So it's a bonus. More bang for the buck.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's it.
I'm out of questions.
I'm out of answers.
All right. Anybody have anything else to say?
I'm good.
Nothing
Okay.
else to say to this ADHD guy.
Sorry, I just had to
Just
make a phone
goes off
call.
on
Yeah.
tangents.
Congratulations
Wayne.
again on the new
Thank you.
album.
Yes, great
Thank
album.
you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a
you.
great album. Everybody should go buy. I wish I had the freaking CDs, the record, so I could show it up on the
Hey,
table,
look, I had
but,
to buy my own record because I won't get we won't like
I was in
our
the same situation, Troy.
you too, yeah.
Yeah.
I see you. So our German band members, they got them weeks before they were released because they're in Germany. But to get it over here, it could take sometimes, you know, like 2 months. So I said, you know, again, it's part of my tradition. I like to buy my own record, you know, just for shits and giggles. I dig it. It's fun. I don't care, you know.
You got it.
Yeah, I'll say one thing. Everybody check out The God Particle. Was released last year by Attacker.
Ooh,
The God
yeah.
Particle, you can get it anywhere too, anywhere you want, really. It's out on Cruz del Sur Music. So check it out. It's the darkest and heaviest Attacker's ever been. And all the reviewers are picking up on that too. They're all saying the same thing.
Yeah,
So
cool.
pick that up and check it out. It'll fucking blow your balls off. You'll
Oh
love it.
yeah. I'm gonna get that. The God Particle. Got it right here.
That's
Awesome.
that's
Nice
the
cover.
Attacker album.
Yeah.
That's the Attacker. And
Nice.
Nice
There
artwork.
you go.
yeah.
Dig it.
There you go.
Oh shit! I just listed them one. Damn it! I had
Loose
them up there. And
concept. Loose. This a loose concept on an album.
Lose concept.
A loose concept meaning there's only like
Oh,
three
I thought you
My
said
songs.
concept.
lose. I thought you said
It's
There's
lose
only like
concept.
Lou Mav's concept.
Yeah, there's
three
the
or
one,
four
though.
songs. You know what I mean? That you could take as a story kind of thing.
And that's the Psychedelic Enigma album.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't seen it
Nice.
up close
Yes.
yet. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. It came out good.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy with it.
It's awesome.
I would be. I am. I enjoy it, and I think everybody else that will listen to it will enjoy it.
You forgot to
And,
mention one thing. I don't know
what's
if you
that?
guys knew. Randy Burns, who was the producer
Oh
of
yeah,
like
yeah.
Megadeth and Testament and Creator, and you know, he's the '80s go-to guy. Gave the raw sound for Peace Cells. He did our album.
Yeah.
He did a great job. You know, he bowed out of the industry for a while, for years, and then you know, he reinvented himself because he was, you know, he was an analog guy, and then he reinvented himself in the digital age, and he was available, and we wanted to do something different, so we went with a different producer, we went with a different artist. We wanted to do things differently this time, and it came out great. You know, we're all satisfied with it, so we'll take it from there. Hopefully people enjoy it too.
Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Anything else? No. All right. Great.
Nope.
All right. Hopefully
fun.
everything is okay with Naya. Hopefully she's doing
Yeah,
good. and
she's been
hanging in
whining
there.
here. She's been
Yeah.
whining here. She wants me to let her out probably.
Well, go
Poor
let her
dog.
out. And Bobby, go let yourself
Yep.
out.
Yeah. My fucking cat's dying of cancer, man.
Oh,
Oh
I gotta-
no.
He's
Oh my
gotta
God.
Yeah, we got to put him to sleep probably in like another week. He's like a bag of bones, man. But he's
Ugh.
hanging. He's been hanging in there for a long fucking time, man. He's been on steroids, this prednisone, and it's been it prolonged his life, and he didn't feel he's not feeling pain. He's still eating two 3 times a day, so he's doing all right, man. Usually when they stop eating, it's time, so. He's still I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll keep him going
Yeah,
for as
Bobby,
long as I can,
my Shih Tzu's in the same situation. I have to give him a laxative and give him prednisone. The laxative 2 to 3 times a day, prednisone twice a day.
Twice a day, yeah.
As long as they're still in a position where they're still eating, they can still
Yep.
go to the bathroom, and as long as they're not in pain, you don't have to make that decision yet. You're not hurting
Yeah.
them, and they're not in pain.
That's what I figure. My girlfriend is a vet tech, Kimberly. She works for a vet, so yeah, she's the one who's like assuring me that he's not in pain. She said, "Babe, when he stops eating, that's when it's time to worry."
Yeah.
So
that's where I'm at right
and
now.
I was in a situation where I thought I had to make that decision a couple of weeks ago. He just needed an enema, and he was good.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I just need an enema,
Well, that's why I have Wayne. Anyways, hi Wayne.
That's why I do this show, because it gives me
I
an
don't take
enema.
no enemas. Keep those things. Hey, listen, my butthole is an exit only. That's it.
Ooh.
Put nothing in my butt.
That joke is older than me.
Listen, pal, easy.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
working
hey.
the room. I'm working the room, Lou.
Hey, go watch your favorite movie, Water Power.
All right.
We got to talk about another time. We got to figure out a song. Let's do a song.
Yeah, we will talk.
The band, Elwood. The band. Let's get the band back together.
Figure it out.
Let's do a
Figure it
K-pop
out.
Demon Hunter song.
Let me know.
We will definitely talk about it. We'll start a group.
Bobby and I will share the vocal duties.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That would be fun.
Layer. Yeah, it would be sick.
Do whatever
Right,
you
Bob?
want, you guys.
As long as you do it this time, Troy, because we still have American Band waiting for you to do it.
I was gonna say that's 5 years.
Oh,
That was
yeah,
like
that's
5 years
right.
ago. Although it sounds like shit. So I would do it over again because it was bad. But now we can do better.
This was before I learned how to properly record remote.
Yeah.
Oh, we could do that. We could make it like very metal.
We're still waiting.
You want to
we
do that one?
We do a better song than that.
Better song. All right, then pick a better song. Let's figure it out.
We'll figure something out.
Sounds good.
You guys let
Metal.
me know, man. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about
We
it.
talk
Sounds
about
good.
it. All right. Thanks a lot for both of you guys for coming on the
Yeah.
show. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good seeing you again, Troy and Bobby.
Great seeing you.
Good seeing you
Talk to you
again,
all the time.
Troy. It's
Great
been a
seeing
while,
you,
man.
Bobby.
I gotta
Yeah.
catch up on your music. I'm gonna play something on my show tomorrow.
Oh, cool. Yeah, thank you.
And shameless
Yeah,
plug. Don't forget to
And I'll
check
pick
out
up your album.
And shameless plug, don't forget to check out Severed Angel's cover of Black Sabbath's Into the Void, available on streaming everywhere right
Nice.
now.
Ooh, I gotta check that out.
Essentially.
Into the
man.
Void.
Check
Okay.
out the version of Killers we did. And
I did. I saw that.
Godzilla
Everybody
Project
needs to see
Leatherlines.
that. Yeah, that was
yeah,
that was a good video.
We gotta make a video for that too, Bobby. The Godzilla.
Yes, Wayne, that would be awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'll have to make a
That would
video
be
for that.
awesome.
All right.
I would love it. You guys know I love Godzilla. Godzilla's my favorite, man. So,
Yeah.
King of the Kaijus.
yep. I love it, man. All right, guys.
All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Troy,
Bye-bye.
God
Deuces.
Take
bless
care,
you, man.
guys.
All right.
Very
Glad
nice
you're
meeting you.